Aren't moms great? Someone to pick you up after you fall down and scrape your knee, or someone to go beat up the monsters in your closet. Well, today we're going to get a little bit more insight on my mother. We're going to ask her some questions and just get to know her a little bit better. Now, we all know the definition of mother, but I don't think it's as universal as the definition would like us to think. Because see, my mom was both mother and father. So I kind of see her more as Xena, the warrior princess, than, just someone who gave birth to a child. A mother's way more. Now, without further ado, we're gonna call my mom.
Hello?
Hey, Mama.
Hi, baby. What you doing?
I'm filming a video for YouTube.
Right now?
Yeah, right now. I thought I'd give them a chance to meet the real Mama Danger.
No. Right now?
Yeah, right now. You're being recorded right now.
Okay, so it's not live?
No, it's not live right now.
Okay, I just had a flashback. Well, what do you want to talk about? Are you in any kind of trouble?
Not at the moment. Not at the moment.
Good.
I was hoping that you could just tell the good people of YouTube a little bit about yourself, just a quick little brief history.
Oh my gosh, there's not much to tell other than I have two incredible boys, but I guess the coolest thing, interesting fact about me is I'm 5th generation Texan, which makes you 6th generation Texan. And just by clumsy luck, I had a pretty cool stint with radio in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And now I'm a fast pitch softball instructor. Do I make you proud?
You make me so proud, Mama. I mean, you did work the morning shift. And that's a pretty big deal on the radio.
Yeah, it really ruined my sleeping habits. Don't mess with your sleeping habits.
It'll haunt you when you're older, right?
Yeah, it does not go away. It does not self-fix. So take your sleeping serious. I did learn that lesson, and that was valuable.
Well, at least you passed it on to me, and I didn't have to learn it the hard way.
You're welcome.
So I had some questions, Mama.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Is this like truth or dare? Do I get to cast off the question if I don't want it?
No. You have to.
Yeah, you don't want to play truth or dare with your mom.
Probably not. Probably not.
Okay, go ahead.
Number one, what was I like as a child?
Oh, honey. Do you really want that known?
I think the good people deserve the truth.
Okay, well, your middle name should have been Danger, that's all I can say. You were, and I love you so much, so don't get your feelings hurt, you were the meanest child I've ever encountered in my entire life. I've never come across a meaner child than you.
That's right, you gotta take life by the horns, you know?
Well, you just were, you were about 18, let me think about this. Well, first of all, you wouldn't breathe on your own when you were born. And you were about 2 weeks early, and it was like you were mad, and you just weren't gonna breathe. And so for 12 minutes, you refused to go along with the program. And then it turned out as you got a little bit older, you were ornery and mean. And if I took you somewhere like McDonald's to play, you would find the biggest kid at the playground. And believe me, you did not watch violent TV. You weren't around violence. But you would find the biggest kid anywhere you went and knock the crud out of them. And more than once, I thought I was going to have to defend myself to some, maniac mother whose kid you just knocked out. But
prison rules.
I'm telling you. And I don't know where you got that. And you broke my nose. Let me think about this.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, you were potty trained by the time you were 2, before you were 2. So you were about 18 months old, and you broke my nose headbutting me because I was not letting you cross the road when you wanted to. I picked you up and you headbutted me and broke my nose. So you were just mean.
So danger's fitting, you would say.
It is absolutely befitting. Yes, I could not think of a better word, better adjective at that point. Now, I will say this, and I'm not making a joke out of this. This is very serious, and I take this very seriously. I loved you more than anything, and that has never changed and never will. So, but just remember, I'm giving this story.
Okay.
I would at night sometimes just sit down in the bottom of the shower with the water running over me and bawl.
Oh my goodness.
And pray, and just pray that you were going to be okay because you were so mean. And then I even got my parents involved, like in a prayer chain. And by the time you turned 2, literally, you were the sweetest child, maybe 3. I might be, no, you were pretty cool by the time you were 2. You were the nicest child on earth after that.
I mean,
so,
I guess
I am not making light of this. We prayed some kind of mean demon out of you.
the power of prayer.
It is. There's power there. I don't doubt it one bit, and I know it's funny now because you're so nice, but I've also seen you be pushed to the limit, and I know that temper that I've only seen once in your whole lifetime, and I hope I never see it again.
Well, I will have you know that kid started it, and I did everything that I could to avoid that situation.
I know, and I was there, and that kid did deserve what he got. You didn't hurt him. I held you back, but you really wanted to get at him.
I'm like a rabid animal.
Yeah, it was the scariest. It was just amazing. This kid hit you with something, and it caught you off guard, and you'd had enough of him anyway, and I was trying to get you to go home at this point, and this look came over you, and I thought, oh, Lordy, there goes that demon again. But you held it together. You didn't do too much damage that day.
Gotta have some restraint.
Well, you didn't cross back over to the evil side.
Good. Next question. What are your favorite memories? You only have a maximum of 2, though.
Oh, gosh. Oh. That's tough, Preston.
We've had quite a ride.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think. Well, I can just remember that these are so cliche moments when you say them out loud. But there were times when you would just come from outside playing, because you remember I would sometimes have to force you to go outside.
Yeah, I never.
And by the time, once you got out there, you would have fun, and every once in a while you would just come up with this, just a wildflower in your hand and hand it. Oh my gosh! Okay, that just reminds me. One day you'd been gone, and you were with a friend and his mom, and I guess you'll have to fill this in. You came back with a toy, and it was a little stuffed animal. And I love this. And it's just cute and sweet. It's not really funny, but you made a big production of you won this, and you were going to give it to me. And you started to hand it to me, and I started to go, oh, thank you, honey. And you pulled it back, and you fixed its mane. I mean, like it took you 60 seconds or more to fix the mane perfectly, and because it's a little horse. Right. It's like a little pink horse.
I remember
and
that.
You fixed the mane because it was all tussled, and then you handed it to me, and you named it Moonlight, and I sleep with it to this day.
Nothing's too good for my mama.
But it's so sweet. Moonlight looks at me funny sometimes if I'm not acting right. So
I can imagine. She's like almost 15 years older, right? Something like that.
Yeah, I think she's older than that, and it's funny, I've never called Moonlight she or he. I really don't know what Moonlight is, except comforting.
That's all that counts. Sometimes
that's all I have to hang on to.
I mean, whatever keeps you hanging on.
That's right. That helps.
Next question. What's the big deal with moms? Why are moms so important?
With Mother's Day coming up, I put some thought around that. And I'll just tell you from my experience. When I was, the first time, I don't know how old I was, probably probably grade school when I first realized, gosh, someday I'll have kids. I never really thought about it. There's a moment in your life when you realize you'll grow up and you'll too have children if you choose to. And from the moment I had that realization, I always knew that I was going to have 2 boys. There was no question. You and your brother, that's it. I didn't know who you were, but I knew that I was going to be the mother of 2 boys, and I don't know how I knew it, but it just always was. And the most important thing to me to pass on was my faith.
Mm-hmm.
And so my parents taught me that. Nanny and Poppy, Nanny and Poppy were your other parent.
Nanny and Poppy rule.
It was me and Nanny and Poppy raising you, your brother Victor. So
those are my grandparents, by the way.
That was the most important thing, was my faith in Christ passed on to my kids. And also, next to that, I wanted my boys to be Southern gentlemen. Very, very, very important to me.
I pride myself in my Southern gentlemanliness.
I am very proud to hear that, because I know around me you have your best manners going and all that. It makes me proud, but I always wonder, what are you doing in California? What are you doing there? But I hear all these people talk about, well, being a mother is a lot of sacrifice, and but it's not. It's not sacrifice at all, because I'm not gonna lie, when a child is born, okay, a newborn, not every mother, and I would venture to say most mothers, aren't immediately in love, okay? And I'll say that there's an adjustment period. You go through this tough day of labor, and for me, all kinds of surgeries and stuff to get your fat head out of my body. So I had, you were C-section, I'm just going to come right out and say it.
Thanks, Mom.
You and your brother have a humongous heads, and it was just too much for me. But so it was just a trying day, and then they hand me this newborn baby. And by the way, your head was perfect. Because you were born that way. You're welcome for that, too.
Thank you, Mama.
And I knew at that moment, if a bear came after you or someone tried to take you from me, that would not happen. I would run into a building to save you. But I can't honestly say that I was in love with you. I didn't know you.
Right.
I knew the thing that was moving around in my body, all those months that I felt it, and I knew kind of your personality.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know you, so I have to take that feeling of this being on the inside of my body into my arms, and it takes a day of adjustment, if not a little bit longer. So that's the truth. That's the hard, cold truth. But I would have done anything for you at that point. If they said you're going to have to, give up your heart so this baby can live, then I would have been like, okay, well, I guess I'll do that.
So because I was all slimy and icky and ugly and loud, you didn't love me when I was born?
I did love you. It's weird. Okay, here's the difference. I loved you, but I hadn't fallen in love with you.
Right. It takes a while, but, once you fall in love with the danger, then it's all over.
Please don't misconstrue what I'm saying, because it's a weird thing to know that you're going to have a baby, but all of a sudden I was 20-something, so there you were in my arms.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, really? This is mine? And it takes a little while, but I didn't want to put you down. I didn't want to let you go. I wanted you with me constantly. And by the way, you did not like to be held. I don't mean newborn, Preston, but as you got a little bit older, you would fight with me.
Wow.
I would have to fight to hold you. So anyway, back to motherhood. It's really not sacrifice, because the love that you have for your child, if you're a normal person, it's an honor. It's an honor that I was chosen to be your mom. And I remember I didn't want to miss one night feeding or one chance to hold you or be there. And even during the bad times, like a lot of moms or dads choose not to be with their kids when they have their shots because it's unpleasant and that baby's crying or the little kid is crying. But for me, for my love, I was there because I didn't want you to think that I would never be there for you no matter what. No matter how horrible
You
for
also
either of us.
had to be there to hold me down so I'd get my shot.
It took several people to hold you down, as a matter of fact.
I was the strongest child on earth.
You were so strong. And one time, there were 2 nurses and me trying to hold you down, and you fought so much that the needle got stuck in your hind end.
Dang.
It was awful. I was crying too at that point.
Man, I didn't make it easy on you, did I?
No, but I'll take that back. When you were very young, you were very, very difficult. No doubt about it, but it got so much better.
Yeah, now I'm great. Now I'm great.
Don't talk about being great. I'll say this. Yes, you've made being a mom very easy, very carefree. You and I and your brother have been through some, kind of like, I don't want to compare myself to a soldier because that sounds not patriotic, but
we've been through some stuff.
We've been through some stuff together, and we were always on the same team, and we've had some tough times. We've eaten a whole lot of potatoes. I'll just put it to you that way.
We did eat a lot of potatoes. A lot of potatoes.
But you always made it easy.
Yeah.
So yes, you always made it easy and really pretty fun to be your mom. But there was one time where the police were called. Do you know which time I'm talking about?
I plead the 5th.
Well, there were actually 2 times that you should know about. Well, the first time, when you and your brother dropped that TV into the creek.
I forgot about that.
I have to come clean. I totally lied about the police being called and that you had a record.
Good.
But it worked, okay? I just came clean. But on the other hand, there was a time that you and your little friend Post were in the park, supposedly, playing volleyball and stuff like that, and the police come to my door, and both y'all with your eyes as big as, I don't know what, scared to death because you had been trashing the park.
That's right. That's how me and Austin roll. Me and Post Malone, sorry. That's how we roll.
I didn't know if I could say his name now.
Yeah, you have to call him Post Malone. He's a big deal now.
Well, I called him, what did I call him, Post?
Yeah.
Okay, Post is fine.
Yeah, Post is fine.
I just didn't know if I could tell his story or some big record label was going to knock on my door and bring the police with them, and then I'd have a record.
Good. I hope not.
But it really turned out y'all were just having some fun. You weren't really doing anything bad, and the policeman involved just wanted to kind of teach you a lesson. So y'all are good kids.
Yeah, we're just boys, just messing around.
Yeah.
And our last question: were you ready to have kids, Mom?
I thought I was.
How old were you?
When your brother was born, I was 24. And when you were born, I was 27. So, with you, I knew what it involved to be a mom.
Right.
But to be honest, I was not young for someone in my family at 24 having my first child. And I'm just like, okay, this is easy. My parents made it look easy, and life doesn't always go as planned. And I wasn't ready. And that does not mean that I wasn't prepared for the emotional part of it, or the love, or being responsible. I wasn't prepared for that level of love. I thought I knew love, but there is nothing. It's a supernatural feeling that you feel towards your children, and you just absolutely cannot imagine what that's like until you have your own child.
Huh.
And that's what I was not ready for. Lord knows, I would do anything for you and your brother and stand up to anyone. Dang, I saved you from a black bear.
I remember. I was about to say, what about that time with the bear?
I didn't even give it a second thought. This screaming, and we're in Colorado, and you weren't screaming, but your sister, stepsister, and stepbrother were screaming and running to the camper, and there you were in the tent.
Really far away.
Real far away, in the pitch black. And
in the Colorado wilderness, by the way.
Do what?
We were in the Colorado wilderness. I'm letting the fans know.
It was just beautiful, but it was pitch black, and apparently, I guess y'all had snuck some food to the tent. I don't know.
Maybe.
But they came running and screaming. I mean, the screams were so scary, and I knew immediately that something terrible had happened. And I was like, "Where's Preston?" And they said, "He's in the tent." And I could hear the bear at that point. And so, of course, I grabbed the only thing that I had was a book light.
Of course.
I don't know what I was thinking. And ran through the pitch black.
In the woods.
In the woods.
You were in the woods.
It was, and I really just had this fear. And I'm telling this story not because there is a little bit of pride there, because I'm so glad that I reacted, the right way and went to fight for you. But it shows the love. Like, I remember it seemed like it took me forever to get to you, when really it probably took 5 seconds, maybe a little more. But I had so much time to think, and I kept thinking, I'm fixing to be tackled. And for some reason, I was thinking it was like a cougar or a mountain lion or something.
Well, probably because you couldn't see anything, and you were just running in the wilderness.
I was running towards the growling and grunting, and I remember just going, "Preston!" And you go, "Mom!" And I said, "Come to the door," as I'm running to the tent, and you there, thank God, when I saw you, I was just so relieved that your face was still on your head. This fear that bear was going to bite your face off, because I saw that on Discovery one time. I'm not lying.
Right.
So it was not until we got back up to the camper that I thought, what did I just do? That could have been the dumbest. It could have been dangerous, because maybe the bear wasn't going to do anything, and I could have caused it to attack one of us. But you just don't think like that when you love like a crazy person in a good way.
Right. I mean,
it's crazy good love.
A mother, you kind of have to be crazy to be a mother. Like, who wants to give birth to a child from their body and then raise it and all that stuff?
Yeah, thanks for running my body.
I do what I can.
Well, you finally, thank God, have grown into your head.
Yeah, it's about normal looking now.
I think you're just about there.
Well, I mean, that's really about it as far as this interview goes. I'm glad that you graced us with your presence, Mother.
So, interview, okay, so you call your mom for work, but you won't call me just to chit-chat?
Exactly.
Okay, I see how it is. Well, as usual, I'm going to tell you I love you very much. Mm-hmm. The purplest, as a matter of fact. And don't forget who you are, baby.
All right, Mama, I won't.
Call me again later.
All right, I love you so much, Mama.
I love you too, darling.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So that is Mother Danger. Thanks for watching.
Change it. Turn and face the strain. Change